Hello, and welcome back for episode 13, turn 33 of this EA Hinnom series. First, I want to say sorry for some of the poor audio in the past batch of episodes. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm using a wired headset, so you can hear some of the wirings moving on my clothes, as well as me scratching my head a few times, so sorry for that. I'll try to be more mindful of it, and try to not do it as much going forward. But with that said, let's get to the episode. So first up, we see Weird Dog, Bringer of Abundance, blah blah blah. Claimed a throne. We'll see who that is later. We do arcane probing. Dark knowledge. Arcane probing. Fires from afar. Actually, let's show that. I think we explained this last episode. It's a fire ritual that hits 10 targets for I think 15 damage, so if it targets a mage, there's a good chance it kills mages. We also have another dark knowledge. Have some more site searching. We find a garden of pearls. So one site found and all that site searching. I have a little bit of blood hunting. So let's start with this ping on Russ. So if you recall from last episode, this is the second turn I'm pinging Russ, but this turn I now have an army on his border. So I'm hoping to bait out if I can see his entire army out. So there's my scout. And this looks like capital PD, and I need to turn on these settings. The grid and colored squares I think is a useful tool to have on. Yeah, this looks like just capital PD. Checking the report. Yep. One commander, one priest, probably just PD, and it says it's just PD, so yeah. For Satis, there's a battle in Satis and there's a battle in Rivia. If I recall, Rivia is the fort battle Satis 1, so let's watch that first. Is he trying to reclaim control outside his fort? That's a bit of troops. We see Atlantis has reconverged on the fort to hold it. Yeah, it's uninteresting. Doomglaive. Small area, curse and decay. Interesting. They still do not have their full incarnate blesses. Yeah, up to 4 cap thug mages now. Guess we can speed through running. These wizards get chopped up. That's pretty much the fight. To Satis. He's trying to break out of the fort in Satis as well. Okay, here we see Satis has what seems like might have been most of his stuff in his fort. He has a giant pile of these reborn mages, as long as these Sauromancers, so huge amount of horde of Skelly can come out. It's a holy priest, has these elite warrior slaves, and I think these snakes are standard bearers and sacred, yeah. With a good attack skill. Against him, full might of Saurmadia. And we see Shadow Bolt. did not do a lot of effective damage on that archer squad. Looks like one of the Saramadia mages got pelted by an arrow, is running. So this is a huge investment of gems from Saramadia, and it's being chipped down pretty quickly by all these horde of skellies and lizards, as well as this banishment. I think as the sacreds get in here, their much higher skills, and defense skill especially, allows them to handle this chaff quicker and more efficiently. But yeah, you can really see how quickly all those mound or long dead horsemen melted. Looks like not Saramadia's, Statissus lost. Didn't notice much mage support out of Saramadia, just the tattoos and blessing. Let's speed it up. And yeah, that's Statissus' capital force. Let's see what he lost. He lost everything except one elite warrior. He did manage to kill 100 long dead, but he only killed 2 of those sacred cavalry, so really goes to show who did the work in that battle for Saramadia. Alright, there's Baratos pinging Indies. I think that's the throne on my border. I have a Mound King, crappy nature mage, and that's it. Bunch of troops. Nothing too scary there. For events, we have a bunch of gems, a bit of gold. That's a solid event to get out of Flux Scales. And second one is one of our mages befriended some magical beings. I'll see who that is. That looks like fort on the left side of our empire. A worldwide event, +1 luck. Okay. Scout got caught. I think that's it. Let's check that event. So we got 6 Lamias, so these are pretty cool troops. They're not super impressive on their own, but they do have a shape change, and I'm not quite sure what the shape change is. I know it's like obviously a snake, and I think it's about size 4. I don't know how good it is overall, but even as the humans, they have 50% regeneration, which is very, very good. They have some natural protection, okay skills, and they have a life drain attack for added sustain, so if you can buff these guys' survivability, they're pretty good troops, as long as they're not against something extremely tough. So, good event. Cool. For the site, I believe we found Garden of Pearls. Here, okay, we're site searching this province we were sitting on. 2 pearls, cool. Alright, so obviously you can see the entire army is moving forward. With a couple exceptions. It looks like some of my scouts and someone else, I'm not sure who, is moving back. I check here. That looks like a priest or a commander. Okay, it's the commander with blood slaves. So that's what I found blood hunting with my mages last turn. whole lot of stuff, so let's show what I am scripting on going here. So we have 3 boxes of Dawnguard with 2 Melqarts in the front center. This positioning is to help them provide fear aura, and with the body ethereal, they shouldn't have a huge risk of dying to stuff from Russ. We have a sizable squad of chariots on the left flank, with some javelins behind them, so I think we'll find, yep, chariots are on hold and attack rear, so idea is for them to run straight, go behind, flank, and attack. Like, kind of see like a half U for how attack rear works usually, or an L. For magic, we have mass protection online. This was one of the last techs we were waiting on. Have divine blessing. Have lightning resistance, legions of steel. We have our other nature mages doing a cast of swarm with personal regeneration, elemental fortitude, and sleep cloud, so it looks like I'm trying to buff up their survivability against, say, elemental attacks and regeneration, so they'll have like 10, 12-ish protection, 5 resistances for everything, so they should be decently tanky and shouldn't be under huge threat outside of trampling from possible air elementals. Let's see, that's 1 Melqart. This 3rd Melqart in the top, we have him doing Phoenix Power, Fire Shield, Phoenix Pyre. And if we show Phoenix Pyre, this gives limited immortality. So as long as the mage is below 100 fatigue, when he dies, he'll revive at full HP. So, showing off that tech as well this fight. Don't know. Okay, we don't have anyone doing any special fluffing on him, but we have mass protection. He also obviously had flying boots, so he should be able to just fly up once he's buffed and drop in the rear. I think I'm hoping to snipe commanders with him. Both of these astral dudes have body ethereal, astral shield, personal luck, resist magic. I think for this guy, I'm not sure why he isn't doing it body ethereal. Maybe it's a misscript. Maybe I have someone else casting it, but it's not really in range for that. We have on our astral mages body ethereal. No, that's just fluffer. Okay, in the front here we have astral mages doing body ethereal spam. I think in the back here we had this Golden Order mage. What is he doing? He's doing Doom. So this applies curse to everyone on the enemy side for the battlefield. Curse, I believe, actually can't remember what it does. I think it gives more chance for afflictions, and it might counter lucky. I'm not positive on it countering lucky or luck. We have Water Mage doing Water Warrior or Wave Warriors, then Frozen Heart spam. I think that kind of covers it. Have this Air Fluffer doing Gift of Flight, but This Melqart already has flying boots, as you can see here, so that's kind of a mistake in scripting. This air mage is just doing some lightning bolts. Guess that's to diversify up the damage types, or damage profile. Lightning bolt on its own won't do a lot, but say if he has flying thugs flying into my back, maybe the lightning bolt can help handle those thugs. So yeah, Nature Mage is doing that swarm scripting. Single swarm, then they're doing some personal buffing. And Sleep Cloud's just, there's pretty much, I think it's like the most AoE effective spell it can do. It's not a very reliable spell. It's magic resistance negates, doesn't affect mindless undead Nanimate. And I believe how it works, though I don't know why it would be armor negating. I believe how it works is if you fail the magic check, the unit falls asleep, and if it's hit, it's awakened. Otherwise it stays asleep for a couple of rounds, and it's lingering for 6, which means it stays on the ground for 6 rounds. So it could be a good way to sort of split up his stacks with putting some dudes asleep and out of combat for a short time. Let's see. Don't have a lot more big magic coming out. So if we sort of count it, it's mass protection. And then we're doing lightning resistance and legions of steel. Both of those hopefully should be aimed on these infantry stacks and possibly the chariot stack. Should hit them actually. I'm doing a lot of casters for it. So I think that covers that. Have this person site searching, so putting this fort, expecting to put this fort under siege or to actually have the fight next turn, so we'll see. What else is going in the Empire? Not much. Have a lot of leftover site searching going, I believe. I have this Melqart. So obviously I haven't been using all my Melqarts in this war, and part of the reasoning for that is to show a presence of strength on my border so others don't think about ganging onto me, such as Baratos in particular. And by just showing this Melqart running around on the border should help dissuade him from thinking he can do a quick attack in my rear with some basic troops. For crafting, have Vine Shield, Ring of Regeneration, standard gear there. Frostbrand, Boots of the Messenger, Earth Boots, so should only have 5 hammers right now, I believe. 2 here, 3 there. So that's what we're doing with the hammers. We have 2 casts of Fires from Afar, which we did last turn. And we're aiming again at 77, which is Russ. So this is going to be a lot less effective than last turn when I was only hitting mages. We do see that the Pretender survived. So he probably wasn't hit. I don't recall if he had fire resistance, but checking the last turns, I think I said I probably wouldn't kill him. But depending on how many candles he has, he might be low enough HP that I could kill him. So yeah, I have this stack moving up. I have a stealthy scout with him. I got this item from an event, I believe. It adds 20 stealth, so it should make him a bit safer. Extra gems moving in with him. So yeah, I think that covers that. Not a whole lot. Still the slow trickle of troops moving in. I think... yeah, I stopped the recruitment of chariots here. Still another squad over here. Another 25 dudes. So even as I'm like moving in to expect this big fight, I'm not cutting on troop recruitment. Well, I think actually I am cutting in troop recruitment, but I'm still moving in troops on the expectation that I might lose and need them in this area afterwards, so I'm being safe with this movement. However, I am showing these 15 or so troops on the Baratos border, and that's again to be a show of strength, so he doesn't backstab me. It's them with the Melqart should be a solid sign that I'm ready to defend against him if he does backstab. We do see that Baratos' main army here is getting pretty diverse with what's in it. We see terracotta soldiers, claymon, and sheds for their summonable troops. Terracotta and claymon are sort of decent investments for gems if you don't have better uses. Claymon have some regeneration. Terracotta soldiers are statues. But the sheds, I believe, are the lightning throwers. Actually, I can check here. Yes, shed are definitely the lightning bolt throwing undead. Not undead demon troops that both our nations can summon. So, good evidence that he has a blood economy going decently. Up here, we see some more sheds. It looks like this province is where he's doing his summonings from. Sheds need to be summoned in wastelands, so it's pretty much here or here that he was doing it, or on our border, but you can obviously see on our border he isn't doing it. So I don't think there's anything else really. Guess Satis is pretty much close to his death now. His capital should be empty, or mostly empty. This fort is pretty depleted from troops. Atlantis has reorganized and will probably assault again next turn. I think that covers it. Averoni's at peace right now as far as I know in the world. He just ate Miklin not too short a time ago actually. So it's probably scaling up with his Mother Oak, getting a lot of more production going. Okay, so this is turn 33. Let's go to 34. Here it is. Alright. So a lot of tech finishing up. Evocation. This is the Evocation 5 for Storm. I'm not sure what else we were getting there, I'll have to check. I also got Thaumaturgy 3. I guess I showed it last turn, but we started some remote site searching with Astral and Death. With Thaumaturgy, I think this lets us do nature and fire. I think you need Thaumaturgy 4 for Earth. It could be nature that's Thom 4, but I think I have 2 of the 3 remote out of thaumaturgy. Also got enchantment. I don't recall what this is for. We'll check again when we go into the text screen. So 2 casts fires from afar, cool. Can't tell what we damaged. 2 casts of Call of the Wind, I must have missed that. This is a conjuration spell. I think it summons 40 hawks, and like, these aren't good hawks, they're pretty much flyers with decent patrol bonuses. That's the only real reason to use them. And that's what I'm going to use them for, is for patrolling my blood hunting. And unrest. No sights found. So we have 2 battles with Russ, 1 on his capital, 1 outside. Let's see the capital fight. So there's the army in full glory. And on the opposite side, we only see PD. If we check the spell log, you'll see if we spend gems on this fight, if there's a turn 1 wooden, if there's a turn 1 Barkskin, wooden warriors, I forgot to spell the mass protection, there we go. No turn 1 mass protection, so spells are not being used, so that's cool to not reveal the mass protection as well. Mistake in scripting, this squad wasn't on hold and attack. It's kind of hard to see in this snow and snowing effect the details of the 2 sides, with the colored squares being somewhat similar. Looked like this chariot got flying, flew in the back, and landed around some sleeping cloud. That's funny. You can also see this sleeping cloud has caught a good chunk of his troops that aren't really fighting or preventing them from retreating. So it's kind of cool to see that in effect. I'm not sure why they have broken gear actually. This guy's got damaged armor, damaged shield. Maybe there was some off-script armor damaging thing. Don't know, but I don't want to scroll forever, so finishing up, speeding up, just sort of see us wreck the rest of the PD. See those couple chariots flying around, that's funny. Alright, so what did we lose? We lost nothing in that fight. Cool. Killed the PD. Second fight with Russ. This is his Doom stack, and it looks like he's added some mages now. This is not a mage, this is a troop. This is his prophet. He has Boots of the Messenger. I think I gave him that. Same old mage, I think, who's been following this army around. We see a cap dude who we haven't seen from him in battle yet. It's Air 3, Nature 2, so these are potential big scary thugs he could be doing. A couple priests. I'm not sure why he has these priests here. Oh, we also see his pretender. And we see that he did get hit by a fires from afar, because that red bar is how much damage he's taken, so if we click his HP, he's at 9 of his maximum 15 HP, so we know he took 6 damage. We also see that he has 7 fire resistance, so yeah, it's not expected to kill him with fires from afar, I think. Winged helmet, that's interesting to have. I think he would have gotten that on his own. I can't remember if that's construction 4 or construction 6. If it's construction 6, it shows where his tech's gone for this game. So if he goes 6, you might think he'd go thugs, but we don't see any gear on this capital dude. Mage. We see this old Nature 3 dude with the item booster. It looks like this bear has a bit of damage on him and is popped in the battle in the second form. So it's interesting that if you do a ritual attack and you kill a twice or a 2 form unit, he'll stay alive and enter the battle in the second form. So I think that's an interesting mechanic we see here. Could be wrong on that, but that's what my assumption is on what happened. You do see like a... oops. You do see like the little red bars on the ground for damage taken on a few of these guys. Or I thought you did. I think I turned it off with the button. And I misclicked, so what button did I press? Okay, de-toggles the life burst, so... yeah, you can see a couple of these guys damaged from the fires from afar. I think he's gone back to his sacreds in a line and is back again. Line of his medium, sort of high quality, but still sort of for him medium quality spearmen in the front. So he's doing some miscrypting here like I did. Not everyone is on hold and attack. So yeah. So he left his fort. That's what we learned there. 4 events, 3 fire gems. We lose 10 income in a province. That's not good. Another province, we gain 10 income. So about net 0 gain. It just depends on if I get scales in those provinces or not. Let's just check Satis. Okay, Satis still has some stuff in his capital actually. This is Saramadia attacking Satis's capital. It looks like Satis got a lot of troops from somewhere. But he lost the mages, so he kind of just has the... it's revenants, which are not any good in combat. And he doesn't really have any horde of skelly casters anymore, so... this is probably going to be a slaughter. Let's just go max speed. To pause, we did see everything on Saramadia was on attack and hold, or hold and attack, while Satis did instant attacks, so again showing that Satis was prioritizing clogging up this gate, and Saramadia opted not to rush the gate to try to break through quickly, so Saramadia is going to get clogged up on this gate like Atlantis did in that other siege fight. And with these long dead horsemen and the sacred troops, Saramadia definitely had a chance to get good ways inside of the fort to prevent this clogging here. Again, not much magic, it looks like, from Saramadia. Just banishment And he did those normal blessings. This is actually pretty loud. But yeah, the Horde of Skellies not lasting permanently, so Sarumadia breaks through eventually when they fatigue out. And that is the fall of Cetus. In Rivia... Ooh, he actually lost a lot. So, spoilers, Atlantis lost this fight, it looked like. Which is surprising, because I thought there were no troops left in here. He still does have a lot of Horde of Skelly casters and the Astral casters. Atlantis has what looks like a pretty small chunk of troops. I thought he had more here in the last turn, so he didn't assault with everything, I guess. Checking the mages. Alright, we finally see the full incarnate bless for Atlantis. Shock resistance, fire resistance 10. So that's gonna be the earth. Is it like earth 5 for that bless? And we also see regeneration, so it's a pretty good bless for these cap thugs, especially the regeneration with that giant HP pool. It's makes them pretty formidable. So if we unpause, Mantis is again trying to rush into the gate to not get clogged up. We see the Horde of Skellies and Mindburn, but we know he has Soul Slay, so I think you want to spam Soul Slay, not Mindburn here, because these troops have 31 HP and even these ones have 27. So I don't think Mindburn kills them. And I think you need multiple Mindburns to like chew through this HP. I think Cetus and I are both learning now that he does have regeneration in the bless, but he's not blessing, so it doesn't matter for those guys. But if these troops were blessed, then you definitely want to use Soul Slay, not Mindburn. The difference is Soul Slay does 999 damage attack, whereas Mindburn does about 10 damage. If I misspoke, I might have said Mindburn. Let me restart that. Soul Slay does 999 damage, Mindburn does about 10 damage, so Soul Slay will one-shot these guys, Mindburn will not, so that's why I think he should be scripting Soul Slay, not the Mindburn. Though he will rack up much more fatigue by doing Soul Slay. But I think it doesn't matter, because he's not going to kill them with the Mindburn, so... So yeah, I think this is just going to be another clogged front, like the last fight. Atlantis has even less troops now than before. So, and I don't think his thugs can punch through all this wall of undead. I'm gonna speed it up. Maybe if these earth elementals can get in front, they can plow through. But even then, I'm not sure they can do enough. You can see that someone's targeting the crap out of this capital mage. You see a stun. We see unequaled obesity, so that's why he has the high hit points. So I think we're seeing like the smite on him. And the smite's targeting him because he's like the highest HP density on the map. see two of the Salt Kings run. So I guess the panic does its job. See the first line of troops run. We actually see one of the Earth Elementals get chewed down by the Skellies. Starfires, I think, is some damaging evocation. You see it's kind of pelting for like 3 to 8-ish damage, so since they're not buffed up with their regeneration, they're taking that chip damage. Yeah, looks like this dude got super paralyzed, 9 turns left on it. So yeah, he got paralyzed. Probably means Skellies are gonna wrap around him and kill it. And nope. He escapes in this version of the battle. We'll get out of it, look at the results. So I guess in the version we watched, that paralyzed guy got away, but in the actual version, one of them died. You also see that almost everything for Satis died, but I don't recall seeing that in the battle. So I guess there was a morale route in this version. I'm not sure, it's pretty different from what we saw. But in effect, even though that battle didn't show it, looks like Satis can no longer hold this fort, so I expect Atlantis to come back and take that fort for a third final assault. Events. 3 fire gems. Oh, went over this already. So what's the state right now? I guess up top, before looking down at Russ. Some more general gear. We're doing a Clam of Pearls, Water Lens, doing Augury casting. I'm gonna guess that we're pretty much gonna have all our fire mages doing that next round. Have another Vine Shield and a Bracers of Protection, so nothing too crazy here. Have another round of fires from afar, targeting Russ. So this should hit the mages inside his fort again. And as far as I understand, this spells like fires from afar do not hit friendly targets. So my troops are safe to be in the same province it's targeting. So, what do we expect out of Russ this time? Well, we see that we're sieging his capital, and he did his Doomstack raid. So I sort of expect him to come back, and especially since I have his fort cracked, shown here, I'm gonna go ahead and immediately storm it. So my thinking here is that I'm assuming Russ will want to try to fight outside of his fort now. Either he fights outside of the fort or he lets me kill everything inside the fort, is the situation he's faced with. So I'm gonna script the battle assuming I want to try to script the battle to win a battle inside the fort, but primarily win the battle outside the fort. So we're gonna see some big changes to the scripting. Of note, I've shifted most of my troops to a Melqart now. That's because they get a whopping +3 morale bonus from the Melqart versus normal commanders. So very worthwhile to use him. Yep. So we see 3 squads, and we see the chariots in the center. And it's not 3 squads, it's 2 squads in one line. Javelins in the back. So I have my mages divided up into 2 groups on either side of my army. And that is because when chariots or tramplers rout, they're going to take the most direct path to escape. So if I keep them in the center, they're going to charge forward, and if they rout, they're going to run in a straight line backwards. So by keeping the mages on the sides, they shouldn't get trampled. And that's sort of the risk you have with having tramplers in your armies, is them killing your guys. So that's why mages are on the side. For scripting, I think it's mostly similar to last turn. Yeah, Legions of Steel, lightning resistance. There's gonna be Doom here as well. Wave Warriors. Gift of the Health still. I think I'm trying to fluff these Melqarts. And there is Mass Protection probably up the top. Yeah. Alright, so same spells as last turn, but different troop positioning. We are assaulting with everything, though we do have 1 commander just sieging, so if we lose the battle inside the fort, we still have a siege on his capital to prevent at least a turn of mage recruitment. We did up the spells, or the gems on the mages as well. That's on the expectation that there might be 2 paddles. I think I should have conserved magic gems on most everyone. Oh, he's a bad example. Yeah, so he should only do Swarm once. And in the fort battle, I hope he'll use Swarm again there. And so he'll only use 2 gems, or 1 gem in each of the 2 battles. So, anything else? Tech. I am working slowly up towards construction 6, but I'm taking a small detour to Thom 4. Oops, let's cancel that. So that's primarily just the remote site searching spells, Augury, Haru specs, and Gnome lore. So my thinking there is it F1? Yeah. I've searched most of my lands only to 1 with these like wide 1 path mages I have, and I did find a lot of income to get my gem income flowing here, as you can see. So what was I showing? I think tech. No, I was showing F1. So I'm now going to do like the remote site searching, which searches up to 9 in a path. So like the first round of site searching gets me the most sites, but they're like not the high quality sites. So by doing like the using mages for the low path searching, I get more wide paths found to get some trickle of income going, but the second round of remote site searching will get me like full search inside these provinces, so I can find high impact sites such as mage sites or any number of things which could be almost moderately game changing for what my nation can do. So that's why I'm getting these Thom techs, Construction 6 is just Construction 6 gears, items, boosters, and such. Important tech to get when you have good access to mages that can craft a lot of items. And I think that covers it for this turn. I think we ran super long, but we're getting close to the battles. I think next episode we finally see the big battle with Russ, so see you next time for the next episode. Thank you for watching.